She booked a spa day and accidentally took my credit card. I called the spa and had her session upgraded. They added a couples massage. Then billed her personal card. She texted confused. I said, "Just returning the favor." This happened in Greensboro, North Carolina, 2 years ago. I had just turned 38 and was trying to get my life back in order after a messy divorce. My ex-wife walked out with half the furniture, her new boyfriend's truck parked out front, and a lawyer who squeezed every last bit of peace from me. I kept the house and the dogs, but it didn't feel like winning. I was working 50 to 60 hours a week fixing HVAC systems. Not the worst job in the world, but in the summer heat, it felt like punishment. I had a small group of friends, mostly guys I met on the job or knew from way back. Not much social life. No dating. No energy for it. That's when Holly showed up. She wasn't some random stranger. I'd seen her at a few backyard parties, mostly friends of friends. My cousin Dana used to date her older brother. She was hard to miss, loud, always telling stories, always laughing just a little too loud. There was something off about her that I couldn't put my finger on, but she had that kind of presence that made people lean in anyway. I didn't think much of her until one night she needed a ride home from a get-together. She'd had a few drinks, and I was the only one sober. We talked on the way. She told me about her breakup, how her ex cheated on her, how she was living with her mom while she figured things out. "You're one of the good ones," she said as I dropped her off. I should have recognized that line for what it was, a way in. She started texting me after that. At first, it was normal stuff, memes, updates about her week, jokes about her job at a dog grooming place. Then she started asking favors. "Hey, can I do laundry at your place? Mine's busted. Mind if I hang out there while I wait for a package? Porch Pirates got my last one." She never overstayed, never made it feel like a burden. Just small things. Easy to say yes. One day, I gave her a spare key. Just temporary, I told myself. She needed to grab a package for me while I was working a late shift. She was grateful, gave me a hug, and said, "You really trust me, huh?" That question stuck in my head later. Anyway, about a month after that, I came home and saw her sitting on my porch. She was wearing yoga pants, hair tied up, sipping one of those giant iced coffees. "You left your garage open," she said with a smile. I hadn't. But I played along, acting like maybe I had. We chatted. She mentioned wanting to treat herself to a spa day, said she deserved something nice after the week she'd had. "Bad energy's been all around me," she said, like that explained everything. The next day, I was on my lunch break in my work truck, eating a sandwich, when I checked my bank app. There it was, a $297 charge from Green Tea Serenity Spa. I stared at it for a solid minute, my sandwich halfway to my mouth. I knew that place. One of those high-end spots where rich folks go to get hot stones rubbed on their backs and cucumber water served in glass pitchers. I sure as hell didn't book anything. I texted her right away. Me. "Hey, did you use my card for something?" No answer. I waited an hour. Tried calling. Straight to voicemail. Finally, she replied, "OMG, I think I used the wrong card." Flush face, I thought it was mine. "I'm so sorry. I'll pay you back. Promise." No explanation for how she even had my card. No real apology either. Just a fake oops and a lazy promise to pay it back. I didn't respond. The more I thought about it, the more I knew it wasn't an accident. She had to go into my wallet. She had to pick the card. She knew what she was doing. And I started wondering, what else had she done that I didn't catch? That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying it in my head. The way she smiled on the porch. The way she always acted like she was owed something. So I decided I wasn't going to let it go. I called the spa the next morning. Spoke to a woman named Chelsea. She was polite. I gave her Holly's name and asked if I could make some changes to a booking made under that name the day before. She pulled it up right away. Yes, we have a solo luxury massage session and facial under Holly. Can I upgrade that? I asked. She's my girlfriend. I want to surprise her. She lit up. Absolutely. We can add a couples massage and a hydrotherapy soak. It'll bring the total to $513. Would you like to pay now? Yes. But one thing, I think she used the wrong card when she booked it. I'd like the charges to go on her personal card instead of mine. I think her last visit has it on file. She paused, then said, Oh, yes. We do have a card ending in on file from her previous appointment. We can use that. Perfect, I said. She confirmed everything, wished me a great day, and that was that. A few hours later, Holly texted me. Did you change my spa booking? They upgraded me and now my card got charged. I answered, just returning the favor. No reply. I haven't seen her since. After that text, just returning the favor, I expected her to either blow up or disappear. I figured maybe I embarrassed her enough, maybe she'd just vanish and leave it at that. But Holly wasn't that kind of person. She didn't reply that day, or the next. Then, 3 days later, I came home from work to find something strange. My back gate was open. I always locked that gate. I had 2 dogs in the yard, an old golden retriever named Max and a younger mutt named Roscoe. Luckily, both were still there, sitting by the door like they were waiting for me. Inside the house, everything looked normal at first. Then I saw it. My kitchen drawer was pulled open, the one where I kept spare keys. Not just hers. The one I used to give to my buddy when he fed the dogs while I was out of town. The key was missing. I froze. My dogs weren't barking. They hadn't barked once. That told me something important. Whoever had been there, they knew her. She'd probably given them treats before. Petted them. That's how she'd gotten in and out. I texted her right then. Did you come into my house? No response. I called. Straight to voicemail. Next morning, I changed the locks. Installed a camera above the door. The whole thing made my stomach twist. Not because I was scared, because I knew this wasn't over. She felt challenged. 1 week later, my cousin Dana called. She sounded weird, almost guilty. Hey, she said. I heard from Holly. Oh yeah? She's telling people you stole from her. I paused. She say what I supposedly stole? She said you used her card for some spa thing and tricked her into paying for both of you. I laughed. Out loud. She left out the part where she stole my card first. Dana didn't laugh. Look, I'm just saying, she's running her mouth. She posted something online too. Said she was going to get justice or some crap. I told Dana the truth. The real story. She believed me, but I could tell she didn't want to pick sides. Just watch your back, she said before hanging up. Now I was pissed. She broke into my house, stole a key, started lying to people, and now she was trying to flip the script and make me out to be the thief? I wasn't going to let it go. So I did something petty. Real petty. I knew where she worked, at a dog grooming place on the edge of town. I had a buddy who worked at animal control. I told him about a rumor I'd heard. Someone over at Holly's workplace was washing dogs in the parking lot with no proper drainage, and maybe without insurance. He said he'd check it out. The next week, Holly posted online. Anyone know a good lawyer? Apparently you can get reported for doing your job now. She had no idea it came from me. But she still wasn't done. Because 2 days later, I walked out to my truck and found a nail in my tire. And another. 2 tires side by side. Same kind of roofing nails. Buried deep. I checked my cameras. Nothing. She knew where to park out of sight. Now we were past the point of passive revenge. She was starting to mess with my property. Getting bold. I decided I needed to hit back harder. I started collecting everything. Screenshots of her texts. Bank charge history. Security footage of her entering my yard weeks before. I even had copies of messages she sent mutual friends trashing me. I filed a police report. Not for the credit card, that wasn't going to go anywhere. But for the break-in. The stolen key. The vandalism. I didn't expect much, but I wanted something on record. Then I sent her one last message. Next time you come near my house, I'll let the cops deal with it. She replied in less than a minute. You think you're so smart, huh? You messed with the wrong person. I blocked her after that. I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd finally drop it. I was wrong. A week passed with nothing. No nails in the tires. No weird texts. No open gates or strange charges on my card. I almost thought she'd moved on. Until one night, I got a knock at the door. It was about 9 p.m., dark outside. I was sitting in the living room watching TV with Max at my feet. Roscoe started barking like crazy. Not a normal bark, a deep, alert bark. I grabbed the bat I kept near the door and looked through the peephole. 2 cops. I opened up, confused. Evening, sir. You mind if we come in for a minute? Sure. What's this about? We had a report of possible harassment and misuse of private information. Mind if we ask you a few questions? They stepped in. I sat down across from them, heart pounding. Do you know a Holly? I nodded. Yeah. Used to be a friend. Not anymore. She's filed a complaint stating that you impersonated her to a local business and made unauthorized charges on her credit card. She also claims you've been spreading false information about her online. I couldn't help but laugh, which didn't help my case. I've got proof she used my card first. I upgraded her booking after that and asked the spa to charge her card, which they already had on file. I never touched her info. She's trying to flip the script. The officer raised an eyebrow. Do you have documentation? I pulled out a folder I'd put together just in case. Texts, receipts, the police report I'd already filed. I handed it over. They looked through it in silence for a while. All right, one finally said. We're not making any arrests. We just had to follow up on the complaint. But I'd recommend staying away from each other going forward. Trust me, I said. That's all I've been trying to do. They left without much else, but I was rattled. She was trying to use the law now. Not just being petty or destructive, she was pushing things further. Trying to ruin my name. So I went deeper. I talked to an old friend of mine, Nate, who worked IT at a local dealership. He knew how to find stuff online. I told him the situation and asked him to help me dig. What he found blew me away. Turns out, Holly had done this kind of thing before. 3 years ago in Raleigh, she was accused of stealing a roommate's credit card to buy clothes and groceries. Charges were dropped because the girl didn't want the drama. Before that, in Asheville, similar story. A guy she dated filed a restraining order after she allegedly keyed his car and left fake reviews on his business page. It was a pattern. But that wasn't even the worst part. Nate found something else. She had started a GoFundMe page, with my name in it. She called it Justice for Holly, claiming her ex-boyfriend, me, had manipulated her, stalked her, and tried to destroy her financially. She said she needed legal fees to fight back. It had pictures of her looking sad, a screenshot of my text saying, "Just returning the favor," and a half-baked sob story. It had already raised $820. I was furious. Beyond furious. This wasn't about the spa day anymore. This wasn't even about revenge. She was trying to erase the truth and replace it with her own twisted version, and people were buying it. I had to stop her. I wasn't sure what pissed me off more, the lies she was telling or the fact that strangers were actually throwing money at her because of it. I stared at the GoFundMe page, jaw clenched. It had everything but the truth. She even added new photos, one with a fake bruise on her arm. Another with her sitting on the floor like she was broken. And then a long paragraph about how he used power and manipulation to isolate me. She never even lived with me. She'd painted me as a predator, a stalker, a thief, all because I didn't just roll over when she stole from me. I took screenshots of everything. I reached out to GoFundMe support. I sent them the police report, proof she used my card, proof of her past scams, the screenshots of her fake claims. I explained in detail how she doctored the whole story and how it was a pattern. They sent a generic response. Thanks for your concern. We are reviewing the fundraiser. A week passed. The fundraiser was still up. She passed $1,100. I couldn't sleep. I kept checking the page like a sick obsession, watching strangers comment things like, "Stay strong, girl. No woman deserves this. Men like that should be locked up." I wanted to scream. So I made a decision. I started calling people out, publicly. First, I went on Facebook. I typed out a long, blunt post. Told the whole story, attached receipts, bank statements, screenshots of her original text saying she'd, accidentally, used my card. I put it all out there. Then I tagged her. I didn't care about drama anymore. I wasn't going to sit back while she got money and sympathy for something she made up. My post started getting shared. A few of my friends chimed in. Some people called me bitter, but a lot more saw the receipts and started asking her questions. That's when she finally texted me again. "You want to play dirty? Fine. Let's go." I didn't reply. The next day, I woke up and my Facebook account was locked. Someone reported me for harassment. It got worse. A fake Instagram popped up using my name, with pictures of guns, threats, and captions like, "She had it coming." She was trying to frame me. I reported it immediately. It took days, but eventually Instagram took it down. Still, the damage was done. People saw it. Screenshotted it. Some believed it. My job even asked me about it after someone sent an email to the company saying they had concerns about my behavior. Now she was trying to ruin my job. I sat at my kitchen table, staring at the wall, wondering how I'd gotten here, from letting someone borrow my washer to being labeled a monster online. That night, I got another call, from Dana, my cousin. "You need to see something," she said. She texted me a screenshot from a private Facebook group. It was a local women's safety group. Someone had posted a picture of my face with a warning. "This man is dangerous. He tried to control and stalk a friend of mine. Please be careful if you live near Greensboro." She had gone full nuclear. I wasn't going to sit quietly anymore. I got a lawyer. The lawyer's name was Rick Cavanaugh. A guy in his late 50s, big hands, tired eyes, no time for small talk. I found him through a friend who had gone through a nasty custody battle. Rick wasn't flashy. He was the type who read everything twice and talked in a slow, steady voice that made you listen. I sat in his office and laid it all out, every screenshot, every message, every post. I told him about the fake fundraiser, the false stalking accusations, the Facebook ban, the tire nails, the break-in. He didn't interrupt once. Just nodded, flipped through the folder, and occasionally grunted. When I was done, he leaned back and said, "All right. You're in deep." "Yeah," I said. "I figured. She's trying to build a case before you even know you're in court. You're lucky you came now and not after someone slapped a restraining order on you." He told me we had two options: do nothing and hope she lost steam, or go on the offensive, file for defamation and civil damages. "I want to hit back," I said. "I want this crap to stop." "Good," Rick said. "We'll start with a cease and desist. And if she doesn't stop, we escalate." 2 days later, the letter went out. Formal, sharp, and direct. Stop spreading lies, take down the fundraiser, delete all false posts, or face legal action. Holly ignored it. But she read it, all right, because she fired back her own letter from some third-rate attorney downtown. A joke of a response, calling my claims aggressive and emotionally manipulative, and demanding I cease harassment. I gave the letter to Rick. He barely looked at it. Let her play. We'll bury her if she files anything, he said. Meanwhile, my name was still floating around like a warning label in every Greensboro group chat, women's forum, even the local next-door thread. I wasn't getting work calls as often. My job slowed down. One client canceled last minute, didn't say why. I already knew. She wasn't just playing dirty. She was trying to erase my whole life. So I called Nate again. Told him I needed every shred of dirt he could legally dig up. And man, did he deliver. Turns out, Holly's little GoFundMe? The one full of lies? She used part of the funds, confirmed by purchase logs Nate found linked to her email, to buy a new phone, a tattoo, and a weekend Airbnb stay in Asheville. No legal expenses. No court filings. No therapy bills like she claimed. But there was more. Nate found an old Reddit account tied to her, same handle she used on Instagram. Buried in the comment history were posts where she bragged about getting money from losers and finessing toxic men who deserved it. There was even one thread where she described a situation that matched exactly what she did to me, only she changed the city name. Same spa day story. Same fake apology. Same card switch. Same playbook. I printed it all out. Gave it to Rick. He smiled for the first time since I hired him. Let's put her in a corner, he said. We filed for a civil suit. Defamation, fraud, and emotional distress. And then we sent another formal demand to GoFundMe, this time from a lawyer, with all the proof of fraud attached. That finally got their attention. The fundraiser was pulled within 24 hours. She posted a long Instagram story about haters, and how some men just can't handle being exposed. She swore she'd keep fighting. Called me a narcissist. Said the abuse continued. But now, people started asking questions. Comments popped up. Why did GoFundMe take it down? Didn't you say you were taking him to court? Where's the case? Wait, this same thing happened in Raleigh, right? She started deleting comments. Then she made her profile private. Dana called again. She's freaking out, she said. Saying you're ruining her life. I didn't say anything for a moment. Then I said, good. Things went quiet for about 2 weeks. No more fake posts. No more texts. No new accounts pretending to be me. It almost felt like peace. Then the subpoena hit. It came through my lawyer, straight from her new attorney, a real one this time, not the clown from before. She was filing a countersuit claiming emotional trauma, harassment, and this part made me laugh. Unlawful exposure to public ridicule. She's trying to flip the defamation claim back on you, Rick said, scanning the paperwork. This is a classic move. She's betting the court will see it as a messy he said she said and toss both cases. Can she win? Rick didn't answer right away. Depends how deep this thing goes. She had also requested a restraining order. Not because I'd done anything, but because she needed something to strengthen her case. A restraining order would give her the leverage to say I was stalking her, harassing her, threatening her safety. So now I had to show up in court. The hearing was on a Wednesday morning downtown. I wore a clean button-down and brought a full binder of evidence. Texts, screenshots, statements from Dana, even a written note from one of my old clients who confirmed I'd lost the job because of the rumors. Holly walked in late, wearing all black, hair done, sunglasses on like she was walking into a funeral. She didn't look at me. Her lawyer did all the talking. Claimed I was obsessed with her. That I used online harassment to punish her for rejecting me. That I'd posted revenge materials to damage her emotionally and financially. Rick stood up after and calmly ripped their story apart. Point by point. He had a copy of her GoFundMe lies. The accidental card use. The break-in. The fake Instagram page. The tire damage photos. The Reddit comments Nate found. The judge looked annoyed the longer it went on. After 2 hours, she ruled, no restraining order. And both suits would proceed to trial. That meant we weren't done. Not even close. But outside the courtroom, Holly stopped me. First time we'd spoken face to face since the spa stunt. She looked different. Not scared. Not embarrassed. Just angry. "You think you won something?" she said. "I'm not afraid of you." I smiled, just barely. "You should be." She walked off without another word. That night, Nate sent me a message. "You're gonna want to see this." It was a new post, anonymous, but same writing style, same city, same tone. It was from a different subreddit, this time about surviving narcissistic abuse. She laid out a wild news story. This time, she wasn't just painting me as abusive, she was accusing Rick, my lawyer, of being complicit in my harassment campaign. She said the whole legal system was rigged. That her truth was being silenced. She made herself into a martyr, again. The comments ate it up. I showed Rick the next day. He barely glanced at it. "She's spiraling," he said. "That's good." I wasn't sure what he meant at first. But I figured it out the next week. One of the donors from her fake fundraiser, someone who had given her $250 and commented publicly, sued her for fraud. That changed everything. Now she wasn't just dealing with me. She had to defend herself from someone she couldn't call an abuser. Someone who used her own words against her. And this woman, Claire, had a lawyer of her own. Rick reached out to Claire's lawyer. They agreed to share info. Suddenly, we weren't fighting alone. Then came the final twist. Nate, who hadn't stopped digging, found something big. Holly had a warrant. From another county, over a bounced check and unpaid damages from a similar, emotional distress, scam she'd pulled on an ex-boss. Nothing major, misdemeanor stuff, but enough. Rick leaned back in his chair and said, "Now we squeeze." Rick moved fast. With the warrant uncovered, he contacted the DA's office in that county and shared everything. Her fraud, her GoFundMe scam, her online campaign. He wanted to show a pattern, a history of lies. At the same time, Claire's lawyer filed a joint motion with us to request a deposition. Holly would have to sit in a room, under oath, and answer direct questions about every lie she posted, every dollar she raised, every threat she threw at me online. She couldn't wiggle out of it. Then came the court date. Not the trial, yet, but a hearing to determine whether her countersuit could even stand based on the new evidence. I showed up with Rick. Claire was there, too. I didn't know her, but we nodded at each other. Same war. Same enemy. Holly walked in last. No sunglasses this time. No black funeral dress. She looked rough, eyes baggy, lips dry, clothes wrinkled. Her new lawyer was younger than the last, clearly scrambling. The judge was no nonsense. Rick laid everything out again, but this time it was even worse for her. Because now we had another victim in the room. Claire testified about how she was manipulated by Holly, how she gave her money and felt used, embarrassed, lied to. Then Rick hit them with a warrant. Her lawyer tried to deflect. Said it was irrelevant. Said Holly was just troubled and fighting for her truth. The judge didn't buy it. He tossed the countersuit. And he allowed both mine and Claire's civil cases to move forward, together. That night, Holly posted a new message on her private page. It leaked within hours. "Some people just won't stop until you're completely destroyed. But I'm not going down without a fight. I've survived worse. I'll survive this." Nobody cared anymore. People had turned on her. She took the page down 2 days later. The trial didn't last long. She didn't even show up for the second half of it. Her lawyer withdrew. The judge ruled in my favor and Claire's. Between the two of us, Holly owed nearly $18,000 in damages. I never expected to get it all. But I didn't care. Because she lost everything else. Her job let her go after the stories came out. Her side hustle as a wellness coach got flooded with bad reviews. Word spread in Greensboro fast. No one wanted her in their circle anymore. A month later, she left town. I heard through Dana she moved back in with her mom in Fayetteville. No job. No car. No followers left to lie to. As for me? I still live in the same house. Got the locks changed, security system upgraded. Took a long time to get work back on track, but it's better now. Slower, but honest. And I kept the receipts. All of them. Every text, every fake post, every dollar she tried to steal from me and turn into sympathy. Sometimes I still get a sick feeling when I see a woman who looks like her. Sometimes I check my cameras twice before bed. But I don't regret any of it. She could have walked away after the spa stunt. She could have apologized. Paid me back. Kept her name out of my mouth, and I would have let it go. Instead, she made it war. So I ended it. The right way. With proof, not rumors. With facts, not lies. And with the truth so loud, even she couldn't drown it out. She thought she could play the victim forever. But this time, everyone finally saw who she really was.